All right, we just got finished with red, and I was really impressed by red. I'm looking forward to playing with red in this set. So let's see what green has to offer. Let's start with green commons. All right, Arachniform, 2 mana, +2/+2, reach every. Pass. This is a trap. I'll make it a 3. This is a trap. And auras are just traps in general and sealed. So Changeling is not worth it. It's not. Broken Wings. Destroy a target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Alright, I'd main deck this. I wouldn't main deck 3 of them. I would main deck 1 of them. This is a 6. This has enough targets. Yeah, you would main deck 1 of them for sure. You would main deck 1 of them and not be unhappy about it. If you open 2, you probably would not play both. So, alright, 4 mana, 3/2. When enters the battlefield, create a 1/1. Yeah, Crushing Canopy, is that what it is? Crushing Canopy was destroy a flyer or an enchantment, is that what it was? Yeah, and you main deck that one, but you didn't main deck multiples of them. So, 4 mana, 3/2, enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green elf warrior token. Yeah, Crushing Vines was just shatter, it was flyer or shatter, yeah. I think this is worse than a 4 mana, 4/3. So this was a white card in Zendikar, but I made a 1/1 lifelinker, and that card was good. It was 4 mana, 3 and a white, 3/2, make a 1/1 lifelinker. That card was good. Yeah, Ambassador Oak was a 3/3, but Ambassador Oak was a tree folk, right? This is a pair of elves where that was a tree folk and an elf. So I think this one might actually be better than Ambassador Oak, even though it has 1 fewer health. I'm gonna put this as a 7, 6 or it's a 6 or a 7, probably a 6. I reserve the right to go back and make this a 7 if there's elf payoffs, but how much do elves matter in limited? We're about to find out. All right, Enchant Land. Enchanted Land is snow. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, it produces an additional mana. Oh wow. So this makes a land into making 2 snow mana. So there was a 2 and a green enchant land. When it enters the battlefield, put a counter on one of your creatures, right? A +1/+1 counter on one of your creatures. And that card was good. You always played it, right? Yeah, there was New Horizons. That card was good and you always played it. There was, but there was Gift of Paradise. There was Gift of Paradise, which was like gain 3 life, and you played that like over half the time. Yeah. You didn't always play Gift of Paradise, but you played it more than half the time. The question is it better than New Horizons? Probably not. This is Fertile Ground. No, Fertile Ground costs 2, this costs 3. That's why I'm comparing it to cards that cost 3. This is 2 snow permanents, because this is a snow card. It creates a snow card, and the snow card produces 2 snow mana. Oh, it's not double Utopia, it's single Utopia. You're right. But it does create 2 snow mana, but it's like, if you put this on a plains, your plains produces 1 and Utopia, like 1 and 1 of any color. A white and a 1 of any color. I'm gonna put this as a 6. It's either a 5 or a 6 to me. Just because Gift of Paradise was a card you played about half the time. But I'm willing to put this up if there's more payoffs, which I haven't really seen. I've really seen almost no snow payoffs in the set. So, like, other than the blue icy, like the blue has the best payoffs so far, where it has like the icy manipulator and it has like the 4/4 for 5 that chills something. But we have actually, like, this is the final color in the set. Here's my problem. This is the final color in the set, and we found no snow payoffs, right? Like, almost none. So, I'm not convinced this does any. OP Island, I'm not convinced this is. I'm actually gonna feel this is a 5 and not a 6, just because we've actually already looked at the whole set and we haven't seen anything. Not Vold Recluse. 3 mana, 4/2 reach. I normally think spiders are unplayable, but because normally spiders are like 1/4s for 3, or 1/5s for 3, or 2 mana 1/3s, or 4 mana 1/4s, or what have you. This is a 4/2. This fellow slaps. I like. Here's my problem with spiders. The problem I have with spiders is that they don't pay rent, right? Generally, when you have like these 3 mana 1/5 spiders, or like 4 mana 1/6 spiders, or what have you, like you play them and they don't attack and they don't block, which your opponent never attacks, and they just sit there. They don't do anything. They don't pay rent. This fellow is like it trades, right? Every single turn you're doing something with Not Veiled Recluse. It's gonna trade up. Yeah. There's Phantom Monster common for blue. Like, how many X5s have we seen in this set? Have we even seen a common that has 5 health? There was like the white 3/6 vigilance, and there was like that red 7 cost card, right? We haven't seen one with 5 health. There's no Colossipedes. I like this card. This is a 7. Grizzled. Oh, Colossipede. Hey, buddy. Hey, friend. Colossipede is a bomb. Hello. Hello, Colossipede with a creature type. Hello. How you doing? Moving on. Guardian Gleed Walker. 2/2 Changeling. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait, what? 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 This was a common in white that was so much worse than this. Obviously, this is Iron Shell Beetle in disguise. It's discouraging to me. Like, why? Okay. Why did they make... I'm tilted. Why would you make this card? Why would you make this in the same set? Why would you do that? Dear gods, this is a god. I feel like the people who designed white in the set and the people who designed every other color were just not on the same page. Or maybe the people who designed white were the same people who designed black. And then, like, I feel like there was a green, red, blue people, and then there was white and black people, and the colors, and they didn't mesh. They didn't talk to each other. I would almost never play this card. I don't know if creature synergies exist. They do exist, right? I mean, there's that red deal 6, right? And then there's the blue. There's like some giant payoffs in other colors, right? I think you're probably gonna play this more often than not. So, yeah, yeah. I think the Changeling... Iron Shell Beetle is a card I almost never played, but I think the trinket tax of this having Changeling matters. It's probably going to matter. Horizon Seeker. Oh yeah, baby. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, so an interesting thing to note is that this will find a Snowland, right? So... yeah, it's not tapped into play its hand, so it's more a Civic Wayfinder. But this does tutor for Snowlands. Corey, I don't know if you saw the red common, but the red common I think is way better than this. There's a red 3/2 that exiles the top card you can play at this turn for 1 mana. Oh, you missed it? Let me show you. That's what the comparison for this is. I put the red common as a 9. I put this as a 9 out of 10. Like this, I feel like this card is just bananas. And this can play lands, which is really discouraging. The fact that the red one can find lands and play them, and the green one only finds lands. It doesn't put them into play, it puts them into your hand. Yeah. So, obviously it's way worse. Boast is any time in your turn if you've attacked, yeah. This is at least a 7. It might be an 8. This is really good, don't get me wrong. The red one is like a 9 out of 10. But there is room below the red card for Horizon Seeker. There is room below that. It'd still be quite good. This is good. It mana fixes and it finds your Snowlands. So, like, those are huge upsides. I'll make this an 8. Yeah. Does Boast make cheap spawn spells more playable? I don't think so. It might. It might make combat tricks a little bit better. But you can already, foretell cards, right? And foretell cards you would play anyways, so. Ice Hide Troll gets +2/0 and indestructible, tap it. There is a red shock, Corey. Yeah, there's a red shock. It doesn't hit face, but it's creatures only. This is a double snow activation, but Horizon Seeker will find your snowlands, and this can produce 2 if you needed to. I think you're gonna play this if you've got the snowlands, right? I'm not sure this is draft territory. I think this is fine, and like a 2/3 baseline with the threat of activation is like not embarrassing. And because this can just brick wall your opponent's entire team if you have 2 snowlands or 2 snow mana. So I think this has a pretty high upside. Yeah, obviously if it was just indestructible tap it, you would not play it. But the +2/0 is a pretty big deal. And it could be a 6/3 if you had 4 snow mana, which from what I've seen in green, it's not impossible to have 4 snow mana between Horizon Seeker and Glittering Frost. It's not impossible to have 4 snow. There's a lot of X3s in the set though, so it is kind of discouraging this one doesn't block too well. But the snow lane, the thing on the left? Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, you're still gonna have 2 to 5 in your deck, and these can potentially produce multiples, right? These are like additional snowlands you play in your deck. So, reach, 1 mana, 1/2 reach, tap it on tap creature. Trap, noob trap, noob trap. Don't play it. Don't play this card. If this was a snow card, I'm on board. In all seriousness, this might be like a 5 out of 10 if it was a snow elf, right? So, but it doesn't. So I'm off it. What if you had the Dwarf Lord? Still no. There's vehicles in the Aldevob. There's vehicles. You're not that desperate. You can just jump in the car and go for a trick. With the Dwarf Lord, you jump in your car and drive to the local liquor store to pick up some cigarettes to get a treasure token. All right, you don't have to worry about that here. Get your treasure. King Harvard's Revenge. Until end its turn, target creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains trample. It must be blocked. Okay. All right. This is not a fight card. It wishes it was a fight card. How do we evaluate? The thing is, it doesn't provoke a creature. It does not provoke a creature. If your opponent has a 1/1 and a 4/4, they can just block with a 1/1. Now, obviously, your creature has trample. They're gonna take some damage, but you don't get to choose who blocks it. It's not lure, Jabari. Jabari. You say it's lure. Lure says all creatures must block it. This says only if your opponent has 5 creatures, only one of them has to block. But it does get trample. If it didn't get trample, this card would be no-go. So it's the trample that really can maybe set this aside. I can imagine this card being good. I really can. And one of the reasons why is Boast. I think it's perfectly reasonable for you to like have 2 creatures and your opponent has 2 creatures and you play this on your creature and you attack with both your dudes and you boast, right? I feel like that's you're going to play like a 3-drop into a 4-drop. Your opponent plays a 3-drop into a 4-drop and you play King Herald's Revenge and you pay 2 mana for your boast effect. And I think that is going to be the most common usage of this card. And that's pretty good. You don't need to attack with the Boast creature to activate Boast. It says, activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn. How about all the instant speed removal? Yeah, obviously if your opponent is blue or red, this card's bad, right? So, I'm not sure. It's either a 5 or a 6. I'm gonna put it as a 5. Yeah. I think it's a 5. I think if your opponent doesn't have instant speed removal spell, this card gets a lot better. I don't think you should main deck this card. I agree. The fact that all the other colors have like 1 mana cards that interact with this really poorly for you. Like the white has the +1/+3 flying on tap. Red has the deal 4 instant, and blue has the bounce target non-land permanent. Right? Those are commons everybody's going to have in their deck, and they all cost 1 mana and they all blow you out. So I'm not so sure about that. Mammoth Growth. Target creature gets +4/+4, not trample. Just +4/+4. I'm off it. I hate combat tricks. I hate them. Yeah, I think the artwork is great. I hate combat tricks unlimited. This is one of the, I mean, this is about as good as you can get and have it not really do much. I think this card is pretty significantly worse than Run Amok. Run Amok was 1 in a red, +3/+3 to an attacking creeper, it gets trample. I think this card's, pretty significantly worse than that. Yeah, Titanic Growth is a card I never played. Oh, Math at Midnight, thank you for bringing that up. Titanic Growth was 1 in a green instant, target creature gets +4/+4. I never played that card. And I think this card is significantly worse than Titanic Growth. So, this is a 5. Yeah. I think the foretell cost is tricking you. It's not what's going on. Why not Predator Strike, Marty Van Buren? I know, because Predator Strike was a bananas magic card. I talked about it earlier when I was talking about the red commons, when I talked about Red Amok. Predator Strike was 1 in a green, +3/+3 and trample to attacker or blocker, anybody. That card was bananas. And so they decided to make every combat trick ever printed since Predator Strike not as good as Predator Strike. So, and this is where green is nowadays. So, Predator Strike was the height. And it's all downhill from there. Alright, Masked Vandal. And it enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile to artifact or enchantment in opponent controls. Sideboard, right? It's not Indrik Stomphowler, right? It's not Indrik Stomphowler or Wicked Bow Elder, which those were both 4/4s at Disenchanted. This is not that. It's conditional. It's conditional, and the payoff, like, the advantage is, like, a 1/3 Changeling, which I'm not even sure is worth a card. So. Yeah, the whole exile a creature from the graveyard theme, I don't understand it. I don't know where it's coming from. It's so random. So. Ravenous Lindworm. Enters the battlefield, gain 4 life. Isn't this a reprint? Honey Mammoth, right? Honey Mammoth was not embarrassing. This is like a 6, right? Like, you would play one Ravenous Lindworm and be like, yeah, it's fine. It's not as good as Colossopede. Yeah. Yeah, enters the battlefield, gain 4 life. Yeah, it's actually just Honey Mammoth. With just as an irrelevant creature type. I'm no coward, but... Famous last words. Roots of Wisdom. Mill 3 cards, then return a land or elf card from your graveyard to your hand. If you can't, draw a card. Why didn't... Wait. Why didn't they reprint Honey Mammoth? They clearly have mammoths. They clearly have mammoths. Why did they just reprint Honey Mammoth? Whatever. I guess they don't have honey. Alright. If you can't draw a card. Oh, wait. It's mill 3 cards, then return a land or an elf. It's not land and or an elf. It's land or an elf. Alright, so this is not Grapple from the Past. It's even a sorcery. Okay, so there's green strategic planning. Yeah. Oh, wait. It's not even green strategic planning. Wait a minute. It says if you can't. So you can't, like, mill over a land and 2 blanks, and you don't need a land, and you want to draw a card. You can't even do that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, I'm off this. Yeah, I'm off it. No. It's any land or elf? No. Yeah, this is not Trackdown. Trackdown is really good. Trackdown was... It was scry 3, then reveal a top card. If it's a creature land, draw a card. That card was good. This is not this. This is not Trackdown. Professor Crocodile, I thought that if you bricked with this, or if you like semi-bricked with this, that you could, like, I thought this could cycle for 100 green. This cannot cycle for 100 green. Because if there is something, you have to take it. I mean, I don't know if self-mill matters. From what I've seen, even in black, self-mill doesn't matter that much. So I don't even... Yeah, Professor Crocodile, I thought I could I thought I could play this on turn 2, and then if I hit like a land, if I hit like forest and 2 like honey mammoths, I'm like, okay, well, I want to draw my 3-drop, and I want to draw a card, right? To try to draw a 3-drop, or I can't do that. I have to take the land. Yeah, Adventure Awaits was look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature from among them and put in your hand. If you didn't put a card in your hand this way, draw a card. That was a may. Even if there were creatures there, you could choose not to and draw a card. This is not like that. This is way worse. This feels like a complete miss. I feel like... I actually think this might be a 6 if you could actually choose to cycle this, but you can't. If you can actually just play this on turn 2 and just like choose to cycle it. Alright. When Sarus Pac-Mate enters the battlefield, draw a card. It also has Foretell. Okay. Strictly better for Striped Bears? Okay. Yeah. That's a 9, right? It's 8 or 9. I mean, I think it's on the level of Tuscary Firewalker. It's a little bit it's like, I think it's about the same. It's a little bit less. A little bit less is good than that, I think. But this is not a 10. It's like 8.5 or a 9. You'll play as many as you open. The fact that this can be your 3-drop, like you can foretell it on turn 2 and play it on turn 3, I think that's just like bananas. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, I think it's a 9. Sculptor of Winter, untap target snowland. What if you don't have one? If you look at the handy dandy thing I have, what you see on the left, you're gonna have one by turn 6 80% of the time, right? This is a miss. It does work for Glittering Frost, you're right. I think it's better. I think this card is probably better than Axguard Cavalry, which is the 2/2 haste in red. The 2/2 tap giver haste. I think it's better than that. This can untap the Icy Manipulator, you're right. This can untap the Icy, right? Oh, no, it doesn't untap. It doesn't say untap target snow permanent. It says untap target snow land. Oh. Well, that's also much worse. Yeah, you could go, here's the thing, though. This can find snowlands, and this makes the land snow and makes it produce 2 mana. So if you go Sculptor of Winter into Glittering Frost, you have 7, right? You have 7 on turn 4. That's pretty good. I imagine myself losing to that. I'm gonna make this a 6. Just because of the combo with the Enchant Land. I could totally imagine losing this card, just getting blasted. I thought they were a 6 or a 4, and I think like, if you're gonna play Sculptor of Winter, it's gonna be a 6. So those ears are a little bit weird. Yeah. I'm not so sure about those ears. That's kind of creepy. Makes me think they're veiny, but they're not veins, right? I don't know what they are, but... Snakeskin Veil. Put a counter on target creature against hexproof. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hated Ranger's Guile. This is a lot better than Ranger's Guile. Oh, yeah. This is a lot better than Ranger's Guile. You will play this one. Is this better than Blossoming Defense? That's a good question. I'm not sure it is. Blossoming Defense was +2/+2 in hexproof until end of turn. People cast Ranger's Guile against me in both formats and IPT. Yeah, I mean, this card is nice. I don't know if it's better than Blossoming Defense. It probably isn't. But I think there's room below Blossoming Defense and for it to still be good. This is probably a 7. Struggle for Skemfar. Put a counter on target creature you control. Then that creature fights up to 1 target creature. Wait, this is strictly better Hunt the Week? Well, no. Okay, so here's some confusion. It doesn't just cost 3 because Foretell requires you to not play at that turn. So it doesn't just cost 3. It costs 2 and 1 or 4. So it's very interesting in that regard. So if I have a 3/3, you have a 3/3, and I play this, and you Giant Growth, I do have to fight you. Okay. As long as I choose your creature when I announce my spell. Okay, sure. Right. I can just choose to put a counter on my creature, but if I choose to target your creature, I do have to fight. Okay. Alright. It's super confusing because Cartouche Strength was a freaking abomination. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And so you have to always check, is it like Cartouche Strength? It is not. Okay. This card is really good. This is an 8. Really good. I'm surprised from the artwork it's not like elf tribal based or something. I would have expected it to be. Like, put a counter on it only if it's an elf or something. But it's not. Yeah. And this is a miss. Green looks... I mean, this is... Green has some 2-for-1s, right? It has the Packmate, and it has Horizon Seeker, and potentially Elder... I didn't see any elf payoffs for this, so I think this card is just a 6. But the thing is, if you're a green deck and you opened up like 2 Horizon Seekers and 3 Packmates, like you're just gonna run over people. Your opponent's gonna be an embarrassment because they're gonna have white or black cards in their deck, and you're just gonna run them over because all your cards draw cards. So, yeah, and the thing is, Colossopede is bigger than anything anybody else has. Not actually called Colossopede; it's called Grizzled Outrider. Yeah, but this card is secretly gonna be amazing. A 1/3 Changeling is embarrassing when it's bad. Here's the problem, Joel. If you need to shatter, this is not a shatter on command. You can't even play this on turn 2. You can't even play this on turn 3. It's unlikely you'll even be able to use this on turn 4 if you need to shatter something. It's not a shatter on command, and it's not instant speed. And being able to kill a flyer is a big deal. A lot of bombs are flyers. Like, there's a lot to not like about this card. Yeah, and there is mana fixing in green between Horizon Seeker and Glittering Frost that you can go 3 or 4 color green or 5 color green, depending what you open. We haven't even looked at the uncommons yet.